Good morning, good people, and how are you today? I am fine. I hope you are too. It's late morning. It's about 9:30, getting on for 10 o'clock, and I've come out to take the dog for a walk and have a wander around these woods for a bit, and a bit of a chat maybe in a bit. See if I can find some fungi. Got my foraging bag with me. Whoops a daisy, just trod on a log there. Got Alfie the wonder dog. He's sniffing around in the hedgerow and understory of this piece of woodland. I often wonder what it would be like if it wasn't for the deer population. There's a few thoughts on that: deer, badgers, and dogs, cats and cattle, and all about something that's happening in certain areas of the UK which I'm slightly opposed to, because there's got to be a better way. Anyway, I shall see you in a minute, guys. Some Ponticum rhododendron, and I've just recently learnt that this is a host for the fungi that causes oak sudden death. So I think it should be taken out of these woods for a start off. Some horse chestnut. It's just about going over now. Very interesting little plant, this. Wonderful. Nice tree. If I was pan around and go behind me, there's that tree there. You can see the luxuriant green growth near the bottom. That had been trimmed a bit. There used to be a lovely pine right across, but the people, the Kent High Weald Project, thought it was dangerous. Yeah, it's about as dangerous as being hit by lightning. Both very rare events and not liable to happen. I've got some very strong views about the people that manage these woods. They're not utilising the woods, and they're not managing them in the way that I think they should be managed, and the way a good woodsman should think. Anyway, you can see the lovely little doggy up ahead, just about. If I zoom in, there he is, tail disappearing into the undergrowth. It's marvellous day. It's overcast but very dry, and it's beautiful. Birds are singing, and I'm looking out for my favourite fungi for this time of the year. So see you in a minute, guys. Well, my friends, we all know what that is. Wild garlic. It's just about finished now, but there's plenty around here, and I must remember this for next year, or maybe in the autumn. Come back here in the autumn, and though I shouldn't, dig 1 or 2 bulbs up and put them in some meat. Right now, this part of the woodland, and for a good part of it, is what I call overstood coppice. This is, majority of it is sweet chestnut. There is a little bit of sycamore as well. The one good thing, or the one thing I would like to do, is work this woodland. There's plenty of fences here, plenty of firewood and other stuff to be gleaned from this woodland. A little bit of carving maybe. Here we are back on a path. We're going to follow this path down. I think this might take me back to the lake again. It's not a bad little woodland actually. It's quite a peaceful day. So when I eventually settle down, oh, there we go. Some Jack by the hedge. Wild garlic mustard. Yes, it's a good day, a good foraging day as well. It's nice. It's dry, it's not too wet. Really, really nice. In the distance I can hear cars, which is obvious for this area. It's quite urban, and I'm quite liking it. It's a good day. Though, so far, no chicken of the woods. I've been on the eye for that. I'm not going to find it here, because it's predominantly here. It's predominantly this little path is predominantly birch, rhododendron, with a smattering of rowan. And down in the distance is Alfie, the dog that refuses to catch anything at the moment. Though, what would he do with it? Well, there you go, my friends. It's the barbecue stove going. It's I use it as a wood burning stove. I prefer using a honey stove for boiling up, but for general cooking, if I was going to do, you know, cook some sausages over a stove and that, this would be the one to use. It gives me the chance of having an open fire without having to make preparations on the ground as such. Very good little stove. I prefer, in fact, I've never used the firebox stove, the one that seems to be in vogue at the moment, but I would say this has the edge over it as far as versatility goes. At the moment the Crusader Cup is being lapped by the flames, but I've got a nice little fire going. It will die down in a minute and I quite enjoy it. I'll say it's a nice piece of kit. I've got to do some running repairs on the hinges. Some of the things have just unhinged themselves a little bit, so I need bending back. It's not a great rolly, but you know, it's the aesthetics of it. But this is really good. Great for camping. I'm going to experiment over the next few months with this, and got some ideas using these, which is a long skewer, but it's something I'm working on in my head at the moment. I'll see if I can work it around this fire. Pan around. There's a very lovely little doggy there. Alfie! Yep, he's turning round and looking at the camera. He likes this, and as I mentioned earlier, there's you saw the coppice, the overstood coppice woodland. This is a little bit of pine plantation. In fact, I call this area the pines. It's the area I come to most when I'm just wanting a little time out in the woods. Because often over there, if I zoom in, there's a little path down there. You can often see deer run through there, and I'll zoom back out again. There we go. Well, I'm going to see to this brew, and I'm going to have a chat. Well, howdy guys, I hope you like the little tour around. This is not a bad piece of woodland I come to most weeks. It literally is not far from home, a 15-minute walk or so. I had a wander around today. I was looking for some chicken in the woods. Couldn't find any. When I went my way back home, I'll be going down another route, and I saw some there the other week. It's the chicken that you saw in my last video, basically, and I'll be having a go at seeing if there's any more fruited there. I hope there is, and I hope no one sort of kicks it around. An awful lot of the public look upon fungi as being poisonous if it don't bite from the shop. Like everything else, if you know it 100% and you know it's not going to affect you, by all means buy it, cook it. I can see some moisture coming out of this wood, so it isn't totally seasoned. But it's burning away all right. I hope you like the little view of the stove. As I said, I've got to do some work on it, and it's just basically running repairs. Everything needs maintenance. I've been doing the tarp and I've been doing the hammock. If I remember when I get home, I'll do a quick little clip on these lights. Someone asked about the lights, and I shall do a little piece about it. Oh, the thumb is healing up rather well. Probably have a bit of a scar there, but it's good. What's been happening in my world? I've just read a book by Ben Law called Woodsman, and for all of those who enjoy the outdoors life and want to get a professional woodsman's view on it, get the book. It's really good. Really good piece on coppicing, how he started, and various things about his house he built. And about management of woodland, and how we should be managing the woodland that we have. He's one of my inspirational guys. I suppose the guy that really started me off on all of this, apart from my dad, he wasn't actually a woodsman as such, but he enjoyed being outdoors. He would go to be, he used to do shooting, fishing and what have you. We did coarse fishing, but we actually brought home some of the fish that we caught. Nowadays they just put it back. I find it a bit bizarre, you know, you spend all day catching a fish and then you put it back and go to the supermarket to buy one. I suppose because we're all brought up on sea fish, most people don't consider freshwater species as edible. Only the East Europeans tend to be doing that in this country, much to the chagrin of some of the coarse fishermen around here. Excuse me a minute, I'm just going to see what this water's like, because I'm going to do a little boil in a bag of ice. Not too bad. Yeah, so as I was saying, one of my inspirational guys, I did make mention of a chap called Jack Hargreaves. Look him out on YouTube. He is now passed into spirit, but he used to do 2 programs. He did 2 series of programs, Out of Town and The Old Country, and it's basically country life from his standpoint. He lived Dorset way, and very interesting programs because it encompasses the whole of country life. Sometimes I feel that we get wrapped up in pretend wilderness. A lot of us like to go out and camp, which we do, it's quite enjoyable, and we go into the pretend wilderness. This is my pretend wilderness. I'm not more than a 5-minute walk away from a block of flats, so it's not too bad. What is he looking? Whoa, whoops, there we go. Might poke that around. There we go. Yeah. Whoa. But yeah, I'm not too, but you know, we've got a lot of wildlife here. Just over there, about a couple of miles away, we've got wild boar. They've yet to cross the A21, but they will do eventually. You know, give it 5 minutes and bang, they're over the A21 and they're into this woodland and into Robinsgate. We've got deer, got foxes, we've got badgers. And coming on to badgers, as I mentioned earlier, they're doing a preliminary badger cull. Now, the wrongs and the rights of this I don't really want to get into, but I just want to point out that there is a marked link between bovine TB and wild animals. Now at the moment the badgers are getting it in the neck, but also why don't they look into deer? There's more deer now than what there ever has been in the UK. They spread bovine TB. Dogs, cats, hedgehogs, foxes and other mammals will spread bovine TB. These are not looked into. Badgers, people look into, oh, it must be the badger's fault. Not always. But that is my view on it. You know, don't just pick on one animal. Look at the whole panoply of animals that are out there, because they all affect the environment in one way or the other. We affect the environment in a most horrific way. We have perceived aesthetic. You know, oh, we don't like a tree there, so it must be chopped down. But that's getting into politics, and I try and steer clear of that because it creates too many arguments. In my last video, or I think it was my last video, it might have been the one before where I was carving, the one I cut my thumb in. Someone mentioned, oh, you know, I thought you was into Kiss Bushcraft. My carving projects and my carving and woodsman side is different to Bushcraft. A lot of the tools in the box I inherited, and a lot I bought. And I make no excuse for buying the tools. They all perform a function. I have adzes. I have 2 adzes in there, a plain adze and a scorp adze. Whoops, I think I want to get my rice on the go now. Wait. Yeah, and I make no excuse for having a lot of equipment in that toolbox, but it all performs a function. I've left and right-handed spoon knives. I am primarily right-handed. Whoa, there we go. Oh. Be careful now. There we go. Right, got the rice on the boil, and it's way. Yeah, as I say, you got, and they're the tools of a woodsman. You know, I would describe myself as an amateur woodsman, right, more than anything else. Bushcraft is a word that is used to make people's ears prick up, because if you say you're a woodsman, they think, you know, you might be chopping down trees all day. If you mention bushcraft, it's the sexy word. It's the word that sells things, you know. The difference between a bushcraft knife and an outdoorsman's knife is about 100 quid, say, because one is sold primarily on the word and the other one is sold because it performs a function. I've often mentioned this a lot of times in the past, not only on here but to other people, that, you know, I was thinking if I was to run a company helping people camp outdoors, giving them outdoor skills, you know, for making woodland products, maybe a netting needle or maybe a small digging stick or whatever, you know, netting even, making cordage from natural products. What would I call it? What would sell the product to the people? And often you have to include bushcraft somewhere in the title, because that's what focuses people's attention. Ben Law mentions in his book, he made a seat, and it was a seat made from a couple of types of wood woven together. I think it was willow and cherry, and he was tried to he marketed it at first as a rustic country seat or whatever, and they weren't selling, so he put love seat, and they sold. And it was the same with his charcoal. He had charcoal which he was marketing, and he had on the back of the charcoal all what could be done with it, you know, all where it come from, you know, how it was a sustainable woodland that didn't deplete sort of hardwood forest or whatever like that, but it wasn't selling. So he cut all of that and put burns hot, lights easily, sold lots. So there you go. I'm just here busy enjoying myself in the woods. Today is just a day of wandering around, seeing if I can find chicken in the woods, a little bit of forest, a little bit of foraging. Got my foraging bag, but I haven't found much. So I've got some wild garlic leaves in my pocket, or wild garlic flowers, and that will be added to the rice in a minute. I shall eat the rice out the bag. It saves on the, well, I didn't bring any eating irons out with me as such, or well, I brought eating irons out, but not stuff to eat the food in. It already comes in a pouch, so I just use that. Saves on washing up, and I can bin the pouch on the way home in a local rubbish bin. I'm having a nice time out here today. Next week, the end of next week, I'm up to the Lake District for a weekend. Axe workshop. I'll be helping my Ronquist axe and having a fairly good time with a good bunch of mates. You know, meeting new guys and having a great time in the woodland. Anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off for a bit because I am watching on and on and on, and I want to get this fire going again. It's dying down a little bit. Just needs building up. There's plenty of firewood to be picked up off the forest, off the woodland floor around here. You don't have to chop trees down, you don't have to do anything like that. The marvellous thing about these small wood burning stoves is small wood, and there's always plenty of it around. Anyway, guys, I'll see you a little while down the line. Well, there's not a lot there, but I'm going to grab it while I can. It's my favourite fungi, and I wish to eat some this year. So Probably have it either tonight or for tomorrow's breakfast. It is my favourite, chicken of the woods.